We're going live. Freya.
We're live. We're live. Happy International Women's Day.
Yeah, happy International Women's Day.
Have we got everyone in?
Yeah, I think so.
We have.
To males as well, I think, as well as females, because even males have strong women in their life, whether that's in the form of a mother, a partner, a daughter, friends that they want to maybe think about and celebrate on International Women's Day.
Really good point, Holly.
Yeah,
Really good point.
Yeah. So, cheers to all you strong, independent women out there.
Definitely.
From this little group of strong, independent women here.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say that maybe we could find out how everybody's got to this point in their lives, what made them choose to be doing what they're doing now.
As women.
As
Yeah.
women.
Who've been birthed by women.
yeah. Holly's got a very entertaining TikTok that she's going to put on later. I mean, it is a serious thing, International Women's Day, but
definitely.
as you know, if you've seen any of Hol's videos, she does like to see the lighter side in life.
And the dirtier side. Anyway.
Yeah. So I'm just going to see who's joining us, so that if there's any questions, if anybody's on here and wants to ask any questions of us and why we're such a female-dominated team, then feel free to ask.
I mean, it's not even really deliberate, I don't think, that we're a female.
Yeah, no, I don't think it.
Team. It's just kind of gone that way, and it works really efficiently. And you know, that's not to say that we don't have any male input whatsoever. You know, we have Chris, our Farrier, who was here today. Sam, our vet, who was here last week. We have Michael Rossthorne, the builder.
But we kick them all off at the end of the day.
We get some of them.
Do we have anybody listening who can tell us if we're loud enough?
Hi Mandy and anyone else who's joining us. I think we've got 12 people with us now. If somebody could just let us know whether you can hear us all okay, because we always worry when we've not got microphones on us. So if
they'll be able to hear you, but whether they
don't
can
forget
hear.
Bailey, Wendy, do you know what? You're absolutely right. That's really shocking. That's really shocking. Yeah, my son Bailey. If I can read, sorry. Karen, Wendy, loud and clear in Plymouth. Wonderful. Loud and clear, even through you making noise mucking out. Who's that? I can't see who that is. Oh, Marta, you're mucking out at the moment. Karen, you can hear us. Okay, that's all good. Yeah, obviously we've got Bailey here. Sorry, I'm going to take my coat off, so I'm going to let you chat for a minute.
Yes, so obviously we have Bailey, who admittedly he's not a man yet. He's entering the stroppy teenage phase at the age of 11. But yes, he's a support to and a form of entertainment to us all.
So maybe he'll change the dynamics here and the balance here in years to come.
So as Holly said, it's not through choice that there's only women running the farm, because of course up until 6 years ago, there was our father, Sandy Alexander, who ran the farm and dealt with the financing, ran the B&B, and also Tracey's now ex-husband, who left a week after Dad died. So we find ourselves in a situation where it's just myself, Tracey, our mother Sylvia, and little Bean, Bailey.
So we had no choice. No, we had no choice because we had to make it work. And, you know, luckily we've got all these other wonderful, strong women around us that help us keep doing that. You know, I mean, Jodie, you're a sheep and cattle farmer now. You know, and that's in a very male-dominated world as well. And
Jodie isn't just a strong woman in her personality. She's the strongest person I know. Guns!
Yeah. Well, I'll never forget when you first came to work here, and we had one of the stables that had a deep litter bed.
Oh yeah.
And do you remember that? Yeah, one of the stables at the front. And I said to Jodie about us getting that out. I have never seen strength like it. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I think that goes back to some of the questions we were thinking about before, about like the challenges you've had being a woman, I suppose. And before I came here, some of the workplaces that I was in, I sometimes felt at a disadvantage because I was a woman, or I was almost looked down upon, or almost that sort of thing of judging your capability.
Yeah.
So I think that's maybe, it's not always a bad thing. I know it's obviously not a nice thing to deal with, but in the long term it makes you a stronger person. But that's where, I guess, again, coming here for the first day, you almost think, I need to prove myself, and because that's all I've ever done was try and prove myself. But now it's like, actually, I don't, I am just who I am. And I guess that's what a lot of women have challenges with, especially in the agricultural world.
I was going to say, do you think it's changed from when you first started working and now? Do you think there's a difference in how women in agriculture are perceived?
I think there definitely is. I look back and I think if it wasn't for certain people or characters that nurtured me along, I maybe would have given up at some point because of the experiences I had. But it's that same thing where you go through, you know, you meet different people, you go to different places and you see, oh, actually this is something I want to pursue. But it's just not letting those certain people or characters push you down and think, actually, you're not good enough to do it. But I think, again, like most industries, they're looking more at different people's perspectives. So it's not always like your strength or character is judged on certain things. It's about the way you think about things or going about things in a slightly different way, I suppose. So it's not always that really, you know, one-sided way of showing strength or, you know, intelligence or
because everybody
character.
has strengths in different ways. You can have strong independent women who aren't physically strong but very mentally strong.
And I think as well in today's society there's a whole thing of, you know, women not needing men anymore and kind of being your own man. And I think, you know, if you are, you know, there are females out there who are quite masculine, and to be honest I think I'm probably one of them. And well, I mean, I don't really have many feminine traits, put it that way. And sometimes
you do on a Friday night, Hull. You have a lot. You have a lot of feminine traits.
I wish I was
You're a very
more
beautiful young woman.
Yes, you are.
dainty and more female, and I think sometimes there's more female girls out there who in today's society where it's quite fast paced and everyone's expected to, I guess, conform to the masculine world, where they feel like, well, I wish I was more masculine. I think either way, whether you're more of a woman with more masculine traits, you know, you're a career woman who doesn't want kids or you're putting kids on hold, or whether you're a female who's happily married and you look after and care for your partner and your family, either way you're still a very strong and empowered female with a real purpose and drive, regardless of how you choose to be as a female.
What made you decide to get into what you do here, Holly?
Well, I didn't really decide. I was 4 when I started coming here, so it just kind of happened. But I guess deciding to continue doing what I do here, I don't know. I think it's something here that we're always changing, we're always growing, we're always evolving. There's always room for progression. We're all always progressing. And I think as well I love our ethos, because as well as about the horses and progressing with them and giving them the best possible life, we also have the unique opportunity to share that with other people. And that for me is after the horses themselves, that is hands down the next best aspect of the job.
Yeah, and it's sharing them with everybody, you know, male, female, young, old, horse lover, animal lover. You know, it's not just about being in the equestrian world, which is actually very dominant. It's led very much by the female, really. You know, there's a higher proportion of women in horses than there are men, and this is where, you know, sometimes I feel that we need to do more to encourage men to get involved in horses. You know, are there men, young lads out there who are intimidated by the fact that it's female dominated, and they get the mickey taken out of them for wanting to be involved? I don't know.
It's interesting how in the racing world, though, a majority of jockeys are still male, aren't
Yeah.
they? I mean, I know there's a lot more women coming into it.
Yeah.
But it's interesting how racing has been male dominated, but am I right in saying that it's the competitive dressage world that is mainly women?
Well, I think at the higher levels in most of the sports, you know, there are a lot of men, which is fantastic. But just the day-to-day, your average horse owner, I don't know the statistics, but I would say the majority are women.
I do always love it when we get parents coming with their sons to stable stays. It's lovely, isn't it? And because it's such a rarity, just seeing, you know.
And most men and lads that I've met that are around horses, they're very natural with them. You know, because I think sometimes they can be a lot calmer around horses than some women can be. But
so your turn now, Tracey. Explain to everybody how you've got here, your long journey. Not that it's
my life.
Not that you're old, obviously.
This is supposed to be a quick copy time. I'm just going to have a look at the comments first. I'm going to be completely honest and say I'm not in the best headspace for sort of explaining my journey and how I've got here, because, you know, we all have good days and bad days, and I'm not having a bad day. Don't get me wrong. You know, I feel great at the moment, but I wasn't sort of as prepared for this as I'd have liked to have been, just because there's been a lot going on this morning. So what am I explaining?
Well, okay, why not just give us an example of a challenge being a woman in the business world that you've managed to overcome?
Well, I'm not very good at being put on the spot. A challenge being a woman. I think this is, I don't know. I'm not good with machinery. You know, I have to drive tractors and quad bikes and deal with chain harrows and rollers and all that sort of, you know, all the farm equipment, and I have to admit I do struggle with it.
You do brilliantly.
I can do it and I can get by, but I can't necessarily take a piece of equipment and take it all apart and fix it. I know I could if I set my mind to it and I took the time to do it, and it's probably partly because I don't want to do it. I want somebody else to do it for me, and that's where I feel a bit guilty, thinking, oh, actually I need a man to come along and do this for me, because it would just make my life easier.
That's where I guess myself as well, personally growing over the years, I've learned to accept help, because I think that's always another big thing. As a woman, you think, I want to do everything myself, but it's actually, you grow stronger by accepting you can't do everything.
That's a really good point.
Realise that it doesn't make you weak or incapable. It's just actually my skills are better used in this way, or doing this job, or thinking about this without having that pressure to feel.
Yeah, because I think that goes the same for any human, is that we're all good at some things, not so good at others, and also it's efficient time management. So being able to delegate, my favourite word, to the right person is such a strength.
Because and I think that's something that, since Tamara's been here, you've helped me so much to understand and appreciate the value, where the value of everybody's time is best used. And that ability to delegate, because I was always, well, I can do everything, you know, like Jodie was saying, so it's taken me longer to learn than it's taken Jodie. But I am a slow learner.
I always think I've learnt that quicker by being in a place like this, because there's a lot of workplaces, not that we class this as a workplace, but, you know, it doesn't feel like a workplace. It literally feels like we come here and all just enjoy being here and just getting on with the day-to-day. But there are certain environments that can be quite toxic, let's say, and they can make you feel like you have to do everything and you haven't got that respect to feel, right, actually my strengths are this and that, whereas, you know, some places you feel that pressure to do every single job and almost giving you impossible targets, and I guess that can make, you know, drain people, can't it, really?
I'll never forget last year, I won't give her surname out, but lovely Lisa, who came and helped us out.
She did like the post, so I don't know whether she's on here because we've got the video round a certain way, so I don't know whether you're on here.
But because when I moved up here, I realised that we were very, very short of hands. We needed help. So for the last 5.5 years, we've had volunteers come and help out at the farm, whether it's helping with the horses, decorating, landscaping, gardening, painting, etc., etc.
Hi Lisa, I know you're on here because I've just gone on the phone and I've seen your comments.
And it always makes me smile that I asked Lisa to do some strimming last year, and Lisa had come up. She'd never really done too many things like that, I don't think. At home. I think her husband.
You can correct us if we're wrong.
Yes. And I asked her to strim, and she was horrified when I said, just don't cut the daffodils. So she had to strim in and out of all the little daffodils. But it broke, I think, didn't it?
Yeah.
Or something broke. And I said, oh, yeah, you just need to change that bit. And I left her to it. And of course, she had no idea what to do. But do you know what? She worked it out herself. And I think, if I'm right, that gave you such a sense of achievement that actually, even if you've got people to delegate to, if you can do something yourself that you've never done before, the sense of achievement is enormous. You know, if you can do that, you can do anything.
But that's, again, where you're really good at, you know, we have volunteers who come and help occasionally, but you're really good at identifying somebody's strengths but also giving them challenges that you know are going to make them feel really good and have that sense of achievement, which is...
And I do usually say, if you get stuck, just let me know. We muddle on through and we learn these things together. I think, you know, taking a piece of machinery apart and putting it back together, for me, is always hit and miss. But if
and
it
YouTube's
works,
great.
Oh my God, what would we do without YouTube?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've learned how to do stone walls, but have I got the strength to do that? No, I haven't. So delegate to somebody who has got the strength.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no, so I think hopefully Lisa had, you know, we'll have many more experiences like that.
We're going to break all the equipment before you come, Lisa.
Not my new strimmer. But
that's what she lets you use it.
I will, I promise.
I should say sorry, I've got on here everyone who's here. So hi Karen, Catherine, Barbara, Lisa, Wendy, Karen, Jackie, who else we got on here? Another Karen. Yeah, so hi everyone who's joining us. Sorry if you're joining us and your name's not popped up on the phone. Hi Deborah, what's that? Same with me. No, you can't pay for someone to do absolutely everything.
No.
So, you know, that's...
The thing, we have to pay for somebody to do welding here, because I can't do welding.
Oh, well.
No.
Holly, your time is better off being entertaining and looking after the horses.
I feel belittled as a strong independent.
It's purely meant as a compliment. It's like Freya and I were talking earlier about Excel spreadsheets.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Freya has done an amazing job today we're updating our costs for house rental guests and working out how much it's actually costing us when we rent the house out, generally for a weekend period. And we had some horrible surprises, didn't we? But Freya's done brilliantly with the spreadsheet, and you're really into your distance learning courses, aren't you?
Yeah.
What's the one you're doing at the moment?
Equine psychology. Is that the right word?
Yes, equine
Yeah.
psychology. Psychology?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it's that one. I think it's that one. And it's quite difficult,
Yeah.
you were saying.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the one with lots of different modules?
Yeah.
How many?
8.
Okay, and how far are you at the moment?
I've just started module 6.
Okay.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. So Freya is a strong, independent woman, choosing what path you want to follow by deciding on your own what courses interest you. So whether it's autism or child psychology,
Yes, you could do that.
you could do that. It'd be interesting to know.
Understand Bailey.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, but the one that you did on autism awareness, you know, given that, you know, school wasn't necessarily something that you particularly enjoyed or scored great with tests, you gained an incredible result with your autism awareness course because it was something that you'd chosen to do.
I still didn't get as high as I could have because the true and false questions tricked me out.
Oh, really? Yeah, but it's good to know that in yourself you know that you could have done better.
Yeah.
And
if you'd wanted to.
And the fact that you passed it, you got great results, and it was your choice. So I think that's the difference nowadays, isn't it? We have far greater choice as women on the direction our lives go in.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, and I think it's, you know, always remembering, I guess, these days I think there are still a lot of people that talk about oppression as females, and there's perhaps in this country a little bit that goes on. I think it's more perhaps in other countries and other cultures where it is still quite an issue that needs addressing, and hopefully our generation can help resolve that. But it's always important, I think, to remember the lives we lead as women today is only possible due to the women that came before us. And you know, you look at the suffragettes, they weren't, when women weren't allowed to vote, well, a group of women got together and they did whatever it took to make that happen. And without them, I think that was a monumental step really in the bridging the equality gap between men and women. And I think even in World War II, you know, this kind of links back to what you were saying about Lisa, and even if you're not sure how to do something, or you with the tractor, not being like it's not something you choose to do necessarily, or something that you necessarily know really well. Well, no, you can do it, but in World War II, women before that, they just stayed at home, looked after the kids, you know, looked after the family, which is great, you know, it's a very, very valuable and important thing to do. But it wasn't until all the men went off to war that they had to learn all these other skills, like working in factories, you know, I guess even driving buses and things like that. And I think that as well, I guess that made society realise and women realise that if you are a mother, that is absolutely amazing and you should be so proud of that. But also, if you want to be more than that, you can be.
Yeah, it comes back to what you were saying about the choice. You know, the choice is there. It's much easier now in this country.
So going back to the mental health aspect of things, I think we all struggle from time to time. So I've done something today I'm not proud of because I was feeling a bit down.
Tell. You ate more cake?
Nearly. Freya gave me a piece of her banana cake.
Oh, okay.
But then driving, after I dropped Mum off at the charity shop, I popped into a local chocolate shop and bought my favourite peanut and caramel dipped in chocolate pieces.
So bad.
And it's only because I was thinking, I'm trying to do something quite difficult at the moment and I keep procrastinating, and I was just feeling a bit down about it. So I thought, there's a parking space right opposite that shop. That must mean that I need to pull in. And I did, and I was walking there thinking, Tracey would just be shaking her head. And I'm thinking, I should have the strength to not do this. But I did come back and share one piece with Holly. Yeah. But that's how I deal. Unfortunately, I'm an emotional eater, so yeah, I'm eating a lot at the moment. But how does everybody... So what would you do, Jodie, if you were having a bad day or not feeling great? What would you do to cheer yourself up?
I think I've learnt now to do something that I enjoy rather than something that's self-destruction. So, I mean,
I think I'd know
now
at this
that
age.
I've worked through a lot of my issues, I would almost make myself do something. So, for instance, the other day I was feeling really ill and just down, and I made myself take the dogs out, go see the cows, and just spend a bit of time with them. And that's why animals are so amazing for your mental health, because you can go out feeling rubbish and ill and tired and lacking in motivation to do anything, but you go and spend some time with your animals and they just give you that reason to just go, okay, everything's good. And it's just, looking at your life as a whole and thinking, wow, okay, how lucky am I? Not always, it's that same thing. It's not comparison to other people's lives or what you think you should be doing. It's what genuinely makes you happy and the people around you happy. But I think years back I would have probably done a similar thing, just go and eat loads of rubbish or drink or
it's turning that switch, isn't it, like you say, from self-destruction because you're feeling bad, so you feel like you have to punish yourself,
it's that,
to doing something that
that's changes. It. Everyone, I guess it's almost not being like you said, feeling like ashamed about it, but I guess sometimes it's just being kind to yourself and going, actually, it's fine, that's happened, and I can move on. Because everyone has a bad day, and it's just learning that not to punish yourself because you've had a bad day.
Holly, what do you do if you're having a bad day?
I don't have bad days anymore. I've worked through that.
whatever.
No,
Teach me, oh guru, teach me.
I used to let myself, I think, going back to the self-destruct, I used to just let myself fall and spiral. And then I had loads of self-destructive behaviours. I used to self-harm. I used to make myself sick. I used to overeat. Sometimes I'd just sit on the kitchen floor crying in the middle of the night. I used to drink as well. I've been there. I've done
You used to drink.
I still do now, but not in a destructive way. I do it because I want to drink, to have fun. I don't drink anymore. Like, I used to day drink a bit because I was stressed. I don't do that anymore. But
what's that vodka bottle? I was just thinking.
the
wine.
But I don't do that anymore because I think one day you sort of say to yourself and you look at it and you think, no, actually, I'm more than this. I deserve better than this. Therefore, I'm gonna be better than this. And I think it's just implementing little things. It's like Jodie was saying, you do something for you, something that you enjoy, and learning, I think, even to be grateful for everything in your life. And it's like, I've come up with something recently actually, that every time in my brain I feel myself feeling a bit frustrated or a bit anxious about something or overthinking or thinking about something or someone too much, I just laugh. Like, you just make yourself laugh, and it just makes you feel that little bit better. Instead of focusing on what's getting you down, you make yourself laugh, you smile, and you think of all the things that you're grateful for. So my thing is, I think, you know what, I don't need to worry about that or feel terrible about that, because it's not going to matter in 5 years' time. And I live in the Lake District with people that, I love and care about, and that's all that matters. So I think it's just, you work through what you have to work through, and you come up with positive coping mechanisms. And actually, if I could go back to where I was, I wouldn't change any of it. Because and look, I'm not saying that I wouldn't want anyone else to self-harm or make themselves sick or anything like that, but I learned from that, and I know, I took something from it that made me not do it anymore.
Yeah, and that will have made you stronger in itself. Yeah.
What do you do?
I know that Wendy, you're busy felting at the moment. You're making a lovely bag for Hannes, and I'm glad that you're feeling very inspired from our talk. I should say hello to Lisa, to Jane Holden, Karen, Jess, Lynn. Hi Lynn. I'm glad I did see something that you put. I think you shared the poster about our open day saying that you are going to be here. So I hope you've contacted that hospital. Anyway, we won't go on about that. Deborah says, don't need Women's Day to eat chocolate. No, you're absolutely right. Hi Teresa, hi Deborah, I overeat. We can all overeat. I think it's a human
and I think
condition for a lot of people.
It's learning not to beat yourself up about it, and it's learning to go, okay, you know what, I've done that today. I'm not proud of it. I wish I hadn't done it, but it is what it is. And then tomorrow,
I'll try not to do it tomorrow.
And also,
but I think it's lovely that the fact that I think this is where it's been wonderful with both of you, and especially with you, that you're able to talk about this, because when Tamara and I were your age, it wasn't something that was talked about
ever
a lot. You know, I never did the self-harming, but I did the overeating, making yourself sick and all that sort of side of things, you know, when I was younger, but it was
taboo, wasn't it?
yeah,
really.
so nobody ever spoke about it.
And yeah, I think as well, eating disorders, I think it's a great thing now that young girls and older, you know, late women as well, they feel more able to speak up about it and get support. And that's absolutely amazing. That's as it should be. And if you are suffering with that, then please, you know, reach out to somebody. However, on the flip side, I think there's also males that struggle with it, and because it's not expected to be a male thing or a thing that men do, they find it harder to reach out and get the support, and I think that needs to change.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the element of the people who don't want to help themselves, and they always think that they feel ashamed to ask for help, or they just think, well, no, nobody else can help me, so what's the point of asking?
And I think isolation plays a big part in that. And interestingly, the farming world has the highest number of male suicides.
Yeah.
Which is hugely sad, but there are charities out there now that encourage farmers, male and female, to get in touch, even if it's just on the phone for an anonymous chat. You know, there are people out there now that are far more aware of the issues and are willing to help, and I think, thank goodness the world has changed in that respect.
Wendy, that's lovely what you said. It's so moving and motivating, Holly. You know, you are so eloquent about all of this, and I think the way you put things across, really, it is moving, and it's inspiring. The other thing, what have we got? Lynn, my bad days, I would come and see you guys, clean tack, and have lots of hugs and kisses from the horses. Yeah, and you know, that's the thing that, like you said earlier, Jodie, you know, your animals, all the animals around us make such a difference to all our lives. You know, I get incredibly grumpy if I have to be in doing admin, and Tamara's ready to kick me out of the office, you know, and say, just get outside, because I have to be out in the open and around the animals, because it just doesn't do me any good.
And I know that I love going down to the field and just crouching down with the sheep. And Pfizer's always coming up and bumping his nose on my nose, you know, and Zeneca sort of comes up, stands next to me and then wheezes. And it's just, it's just, you know, they're curious, and it's being around them, it's calm and it's interactive, and it takes you out of your own mind and makes you compassionate for animals who, you know, it's just connecting with them on their level.
Yeah, and the way they react to you, it's like at the moment, and you know, if you're watching, if you're on our behind the scenes, then you'll see that a lot of the time on our yard, we've now got horses that we just let them loose on the yard.
Free
They
rangers.
just roam around, in and out of the stables. You know, they're so calm and relaxed and happy, but that's a reflection of how we all are as well, because, okay, I still have moments where I get stressy about things.
What happened yesterday?
I don't remember yesterday.
Oh, don't you?
What happened yesterday?
You told me you were exhausted because you had to run down the road.
Was that yesterday? No, it was the day before.
Oh, was it the day before?
Yeah, okay, sorry. All the horses, apart from Holly's special child, are generally we know which horses are really good at mooching around the yard, but we've got special child who's got an abscess in her foot, and she decided that actually she could walk on it that morning, even though she'd hobbled everywhere for several days before, and she decided she wanted to go down to the field. So she completely ignored the barriers that were there, and she just pulled the whole thing over, took Hannes with her, led him astray, and Holly and I had to run at speed down the road.
It's because she's a very strong, independent woman.
She's an incredible, she's a brat. But you know, she's not had that, anyway.
She's still learning. She's still learning.
Well, I think, no, the thing with her is she is an awful lot better than she was, and 9 times out of 10 these days, she's fine. It's purely because because she's been on rest, she's got bored. And as a result of that boredom, it's like a child. A bored child is, well,
destructive.
Because they're bored. Whereas as soon as you give them a job or something to do, they're fine.
I'm just going to go back to here. Hi Alison, hi Ginny. Wendy, I hope you're happy if I read this out. As someone who's been 13 to 16 stone most of my adult life, it's very hard to be plump in the horse world. You know, that's a really interesting point to pick up, and you know, and I know that you had your own line of products that you sold for a long time for, you know, for the larger equestrian, and it's another thing that women have to deal with
more than men. I think
us nearly, well, probably all of us here have struggled with body image and that pressure to be a certain way, or you know, it's such a huge thing.
Yeah, but I think we've also all learnt to look after ourselves better. You know, to be able to look after the horses. You know, it's all about trying to give them the best life, but we can't do that unless we look after ourselves as well. So, you know, it's not a weight thing for us. It's about feeling good, eating the right food, you know, being mentally healthy.
That's what we're trying to do, isn't it? It's trying to get the brain fog clearer.
That's because we're both old.
Yes.
We're not old. We're young at heart.
Young at heart. But, you know, my own, you know, lifespan is when you get to a certain age, you think about that, and I think about I need to be on the ball. I need to be clearer and concise. I'd love to be as effective as I was 20 years ago.
And I think that's another thing for women, and I'll talk about this just because we're both, you know, past the menopause, but you know, losing that sharpness in your brain, and I've lost that quite dramatically over the last couple of years, and you know, I've had issues to deal with to do with losing the vision in my one eye, and I've put a lot of it down to that, but actually how much of it is to do with hormone imbalance. I mean, we could get onto a whole nother subject here, which we won't do, but you know, it's just looking at yourself and seeing how you're dealing with different things, how things have changed, and what you can do to make yourself feel better and feel healthier. And eating lots of sugar is not the option tomorrow.
I know. I'm going to consult with my guru after this.
But I think as well, a big thing that I've been learning, like you talk about hormones and things, but it's accepting that you're going to feel different at different times, or using your strength at a certain time to do a certain activity, or that's what I'm sort of going through at the minute, is learning to do things at the right time and planning ahead and just working with yourself, regardless of if you've got health issues or hormone issues or mental health issues. It's just being kind to yourself and knowing when it's the right time to do certain things, and not putting that pressure on to think I need to do everything right now.
I'm just going to plan really busy days every time there's a full moon, because that's generally when I feel really well.
You see, I know for me, I'll ignore food completely if I'm out all day swimming. Bizarrely, because I could do that all day, every day if I had the energy.
Why do you think I've chosen a lifestyle where I work outside? It's so that I can...
but I'm a fair weather swimmer.
And I think, you know, going back as well to Jodie's point, it is because as women, I think we still live in quite a male-dominated society, which is fine because we offer things as females in other ways and from other perspectives. And I think as well, it's not about trying to beat males or better them. It's about accepting, well, this is what you do, this is what we do.
Yeah.
Neither one of us are better than the other.
No.
But I think that's sometimes what irritates me a little bit about equality. It's like, well, men and women are the same. We should be treated the same. We should have the same benefits, the same, you know, the same pay. However, men and women are not the same, you know, not physically. Our brains work slightly differently. And like Jodie said, you know, women working with your own biology, because we have periods, you know, we have fluctuations in our hormones. That means, what, like Jodie was saying, you know, certain times of the month you're stronger, you know, you have more energy, and then there's other times of the month where you need to sort of wind down a bit. You might be a bit more creative, whereas men, okay, yes, they'll have fluctuations here and there, but on the whole their hormones just linear, so they can just be linear and just crack on at all times. And it's recognizing that as women, I mean, we can try, but it's not what we're designed to do, and that's not saying we're weak, we're just different. And yeah.
I'll just pick up on the comments again. Laura, I'm sorry that you've got snow. I believe that we're getting that tomorrow. Hi Cynthia, Tara, Zaria, Charlotte. Looking forward to seeing you at some point this year. Laura, my rabbit and my son helped me feel better on a bad day. Oh, what kind of rabbit? I love that. We've got wild rabbits out in the field at the moment, so yeah.
They're cute.
Yeah, they are very cute. Hi Danny, Betsy, Terry, Wendy. So true, Tracy. When my focus changed from worrying about appearance to worrying about health, I finally started eating properly. Yeah, and it is, because it's not about appearance.
It's about how you feel, not about how you look. And
Yeah.
also, I think by taking that outlook, you'll actually, not that it's about looks, but you'll actually look better, because if you go with your feeling and thinking, I'm not going to eat that because I want to get skinny, I'm going to eat that because I want to feel good. And then everything else about you becomes good, and it's not about having a physique to I guess, look good, but it's about having a physique that serves you. So being strong if you need to be strong, being flexible if you need to be flexible, or if you don't need to be either of those things, just a physique and a body that will help you feel as good as you possibly can.
Which is what we do for the horses, isn't it?
Yeah,
the right food, the right exercise.
Yeah, and actually I've been thinking even more about their nutrition recently, and I think there is more that we can do on that. You know, I think I've always prided ourselves on the fact that our horses do look good, they look well, they look healthy. Okay, some are a little on the rotund size, like Anya, who's a lady that lunches. But you know, they've always had good muscle tone, you know, good quality coats, a good shine to them. You know, Renska is one, she's a classic case. There's only one point in her life where she didn't look well. You know, no matter what's going on, she's always looked fit, healthy, shiny. The only time was when she actually went away from here for a couple of months for breeding, and I've never seen her look so bad in her life. When I went to pick her up, she looked shocking. So, you know, it's not necessarily a reflection of where she went to stay. It was just that it took her out of her comfort zone. She was probably mentally not very happy, and that has an effect on how they look and how they feel. So it's not because we feed anything different to anybody else. I think, yes, the feed is an important part, but just them being happy in themselves helps them to look really well. You know, just like with us. Anyway, sorry, Charlotte. Sorry, it's like watching Loose Women. Love it.
Yeah.
You see, we actually, what other video did we say it on the other day? Our aim is to have our own TV show. There's got to be someone out there, you know, because I think there's never a dull day here. And if there were live cameras on the farm every day, I can guarantee we'd be keeping you entertained. Especially the other day when Jodie and I were working horses in the arena. The gate was open because we don't worry about shutting it. And Anya just walked in. She came and stood in the middle of the arena, supervised us both, then had a little roll and a shake. Then she wandered back out, and then she wandered back in. You know, there's always something.
The hot tub shower exploding.
Yeah, yeah. But you know, it's our little bubble here is wonderful, and it is an escape from reality for so many people, and you know, us included, because you know I don't listen to a lot of what's going on in the world. I had this conversation with a neighbour this morning, and you know, I was stood at the end of our driveway, and I said to her, "I'm going to walk up into my bubble now," and she said, "You know, that's the best place to be. You know, stay there," and that's where we love visitors coming along. You know, male or female. Whether you're joining us online or whether you're coming to the farm, come and have a little bit of our paradise. Come and live the dream with us. And as you drive up the driveway, just switch off from the outside world, because you can do that here, and you can just immerse yourself in our little world with the horses. We can absolutely guarantee you will walk away from here with a Friesian smile that doesn't disappear as soon as you go out the driveway and onto the road. It will stay with you for at least the rest of the day, if not longer. You know, and I'd like to think as a group of women who keep this place going, that's something that we can give back to all of you, that ability to come and just feel good. You know, we do have bad days, and there are tears and tantrums, because it's not an easy way of life. But you just have to stop, look around you, cuddle a Friesian, kiss a Friesian nose, or even little Mr. JB, and
or
it's
even
all
a sheep.
fine. Or even a sheep,
One of the
Yeah.
sheepies.
Yeah. So
Well said. Well said.
I finally got my words out. It takes me a while these days. What's this? Who else we got? Everardo, Pablo, hi. Jane, it would have to be after 9 o'clock. Yeah, that's true, especially with this one.
Yeah.
Karen, you have got to come back. I think I might just do that, Jane. Yeah.
So what's going to have to be after 9 o'clock?
Our own TV show, if
Oh,
you're
yeah,
on
that's
it.
very true.
Because otherwise it's
I
going to be
can't-
full of beeps.
I can't remember what Holly said earlier, and please don't remind me, but it was both horrifying and hilarious.
Oh my God, no, that was shocking.
I know.
Please don't say it on here.
And in fact, it put me off my drink, put me off my food.
Yeah, no, it
was
wasn't good.
truly shocking. So yes, it
Was
would have
that
to
what
be.
I said last
Yes,
time?
yeah,
yeah.
please don't say it again.
So we can guarantee entertainment.
Oh dear.
Anyway, I think that's. Thank you all so
Yeah,
much
no, thank
for
you.
joining us. We're all slightly mad, aren't we, Freya?
Yeah, and also I know we've put this out on our main Facebook page, but I know that over the last few weeks we have gained a lot more followers, which is really lovely to see. Primarily thanks to our sanctuary founder Hannes. So those of you on here who've done all sorts of things to help raise awareness of the awful condition that he's got with his eye. Thank you so much for sharing the posts, and welcome to all the new followers on here. As Tamara said, we are all a little bit crazy. We don't share as much on our main Facebook page as we do on our behind the scenes group. So if you do want to see more of just the day-to-day journey with us and with the horses, then you're welcome to join us on there. We've also branched out into TikTok, so there's quite a few entertaining TikTok videos out there, bit on YouTube. So we try and get a little bit across on all the different social media platforms wherever we can. Obviously Insta as well. But we really appreciate each and every one of you, male or female, or non-specified, who follow us and enjoy what we do. So thank you all for all your support.
Yeah, because I think often, people come here
and when you're elsewhere, you know, people say to me and you how much of an impact you've made on their life with the videos, and how they couldn't actually say it to you in person because they'd get emotional.
Don't you make me emotional?
But it's the same for you, and it's the same for all of us here. It works both ways, because your support, whether it's in person or online, even if you're not in a position to donate, because sometimes I feel like with donations that we need them. Oh my gosh, we're so grateful to everyone who has donated, and that's how we survive basically. But sometimes I feel guilty because I know there's people out there who would love to donate and aren't in a position to, and I don't want anyone to feel guilty about not being able to give what they'd like to, because even you giving us a like, a comment, a share, a subscribe, that'll help us build our media. It helps us push ourselves out there, you know, reach a wider audience, which can help us grow in business, maybe even monetize our social media platforms, which still go back into our horses.
We don't really make anything on any of our social media at the moment. I should point that out.
We're hoping to, so that all helps with that, which will go back into the horses. But more importantly, even if it's just a nice comment or some form of interaction, if something's gone wrong or we're having a bit of a bad day, it really does just uplift everybody to go, yeah, you know what, that's a really nice thing that person said, and it just really puts everything back into perspective, so thank you.
And it's a really important thing that we will keep, and it started really at the start of COVID, because we had the behind the scenes group that we used to charge a £20 prescription subscription every year for people to join it, but we opened it up to everyone, because regardless of your situation, you know, if people are in a position to donate, as you say, then they can donate, but other people shouldn't be excluded from, I'd like to think, the entertainment and the information we give just because they're not in a position to, because keep up with those likes, shares, it all helps the algorithms, it all helps us get the message out there so that we can, you know, get more out to more people.
And we feel supported. We feel supported for every single person that joins the group, sends us a like or a comment. It's just really lovely to have that support out there, and that makes everything we do here worthwhile.
Definitely. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. I'm just going to read the last few comments. Sorry if I miss any. Hi girls from Jenny, hi, all looking good. Holly, where's your jacket? That was funny.
It's
in
there,
the wash.
Jenny, it's over there.
No,
it's stinking the house out. No,
it's on your
It's on my chair.
Laura, is there a Friesian-a-thon this year? Yes, we have got a Friesian-a-thon date in the diary. I'm not doing anything to promote it yet, because we've got our Easter Saturday open day that we want to focus on first, and get that done. So that's going to be great, anyone who can come along to that. Pankaj, I think you're a new follower, so thank you for your comment. Nice to see you on here. Hi Sylvia. And I think that's pretty much it for now. I think our 10-minute coffee time has gone on a little bit, because we're all very good at talking, you know. But yeah, thank you all for joining us, and happy International Women's Day, and we'll see you all again soon.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'll just come over here to end it. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.